What's going on? What's going on? What's going on? This is the Savon experience. You guys, we are back for another week. Oh, it's been a week too. So this week we are going to be talking about deception. I think that's a good topic. What are your thoughts, Shaquansha?
Hey everybody, how y'all doing? Welcome to episode 3. So let's talk about deception. You've been watching a lot of shows this week. You watched Anna Delvey, Inventing Anna. You watched The Tinder Swindler, Worst Roommates Ever, Inventing. I said Inventing Anna. Medea's Homecoming. And then I think you just finished this show called Pieces of Her. Like, what is it? Deception. You just been on a kick this week.
I have. I watched Inventing Anna, and this series has been about a closer look at ourselves. And I took you guys down a trail of some things that I went through in my earlier years, and online dating and all that type of stuff. And the common trend between these shows and my stories and experiences have been deception. People play games. And so watching Inventing Anna this week, it's just so easy for people to be deceived. If you are naturally liked, if you are someone who's just a very sociable person, you put yourself together, you can feed whatever presentation idea of you can promote that to people, and people will just automatically just gravitate to it and just think that you are that person. Girl, watching Inventing Anna was like watching a whole bunch of my friends in the gay community. Girl, the deception, the fraud, girl, the forgery, all of that. And if you in the LGBTQ community, honey, you know what I'm talking about. The stunt girls. The girls that's all about putting up this facade, honey, writing checks in your name, stealing money out your account, using your credit cards, honey, to make themselves look fabulous, to put up this ideal that they are the it girl. And to this day, you still have a lot of girls and queens doing this shit to get their surgery and to just live life, to walk in the balls with the labels on, knowing they working at Chick-fil-A, bitch. You are not making enough money to be walking around with a $10,000 bag, and you not a trust fund, baby, and you don't have a boyfriend that's a dope dealer.
You're right. Because, bitch, we was in high school. We wanted us a good dope dealer boyfriend. We wanted it. We wanted that boyfriend that's going to get us a salon, honey, going to get us the Chanel bags, the Gucci bags, girl. We just couldn't find one. No matter what we did, we couldn't find anybody to come and splurge on us. But all our friends had, like, dope dealer boyfriends. They getting fresh out of school with, like, 2 clients and a whole goddamn salon. Girl, that shit used to piss me the fuck off. We used to sit and talk like, girl, how long you think that salon is gonna last? And we would have bets around how much money they were laundering through that damn salon. But you're right. We went through in our 20s, honey, and 30s. Hell, even now we know some people that's still playing some games. Them hoes are still deceiving folks. Them hoes are still stealing. You still stealing. So, but watching Inventing Anna with you, girl, and then your videos on TikTok was real funny. I was like, this 20-something-year-old woman came onto the American soil and just pretty much sold her truth. And I say her truth because to this day, if you watch interviews, honey, she's still claiming that she's an heiress. She's committed to the part. She's committed to the role. And I think that commitment is what made everyone buy into her. Totally. You have to live, breathe that deception. You have to damn near, people who know you, damn near gonna look at you like you're crazy, because in order for other folks to believe your deception, you have to be in it. Embedded in it. Like you standing 10 toes in your shit. And she did that. She stood all her toes, hands, feet, and everything in her story, and she sold all those people on it. Every last one.
Girl, I was tripping because I'm like, you in these hotels and you running up 30, 40,000 dollar bills. You shopping at stores that are linked, up with the concierge of the actual hotel and charging things to your room. And then she's just boom, leaving. You know, the boyfriend that she had, I knew something was strange about him. The boyfriend that she had, he was also selling a dream. It made me think about people and investments because, we were talking about investing, and it's just really, it's a sea full of sharks out there. You know what I'm saying? Just a sea full of them. You don't know what to invest in. And if you have wealth and you have like a wealth management team, you don't know if they being honest with you, if they shaving a little bit off the top or the bottom. So you have to really know your shit. Girl, I've been watching The Have and the Have Nots, and I watched that whole episode, and we talked about that on the last episode, episode 5. But at the end in season 8, um Hannah was given power of attorney over the estate when her boss was put in jail for the murder of the district attorney. So she had to dig deep into learning about stocks and managing wealth and investments and capital gains and losses, and she did the work to the point to where the investors who had been her Catherine's wealth management team was very shocked when she came back with, "Hey, so you mean this, that, and the other? Oh, and you've got all your stocks into this. Well, you could have diversified and you could have done this and made more money." Like, she learned her shit. I feel like if you get to that point of wealth, you owe it to yourself to know your stuff. And Anna was around all these people who knew their stuff. But it is amazing how much common sense and book sense people throw out when they just want to believe in you. She made them want to believe in her. So they just threw all the rules out to give her everything. And I don't care what nobody say. They say that she wasn't dangerously close to getting $40 million. Yes, she was. And if they gave her just a little bit more time, she would have swindled to find a way to fake prove that she's got the fortune, to fake prove that she's got the backing, the capital, or not really the capital, but the what they're gonna use, collateral to back these loans with her $60 million. I mean, girl, when you going forth like that, you gotta have some huge cojones, some huge balls to be able to stand deep. And then in your story where banks and lawyers and everybody is trying to verify, like, girl, how long did you think this was gonna go?
Girl, I tell you something. There were moments where I was sitting there with my mouth wide open, like, the fuck is going on? Are they really buying this shit? And then when the deal was coming through for the Anna Delvey agency, or whatever it is, honey. When it was coming together and she had the lawyer, trying to verify funds and these wire transfers, she was the queen of telling somebody that they sent a wire over and sending this documentation that was fake as fuck. And having these people think that those stuff was on their way so they can just release all the property to her. Girl, when I tell you, the part that got me, and at first, I was like nervous, but then I was like, "That's what that bitch get." So her friend Jennifer, that worked for Vogue magazine, she wanted to be the it girl the whole time. I mean, the it girl. Every time she went somewhere, Anna was paying. So Anna was like, "Oh my God, let's go to Morocco." And she was like, yes, cool. And I don't know how she booked the room at Morocco. I don't know how she did all of that. And then they gave her the room and no funds were verified. Like most hotels like that, you have to have some sort of deposit before they let you in. But I guess they used to dealing with wealthy people until the thought of wealth just automatically made them want to chill and pause for a second and just let them in. But she was eating, living the life, and I'm like, I would be nervous as fuck. I would be sitting there wanting to shit on myself. I'm not even gonna lie. When the lady was talking about ma'am, I'm sorry, but we're having problems with verifying a card on file. And she kept telling them hoes to run it again like it was them. They were like, baby, ain't nothing wrong with our shit. The stuff is wrong. It's wrong on your end. It's your shit. Your shit is what's wrong, not on ours. So we gonna need you to fix this immediately. And she just kept on. So when it got to the point where the guards and these two hotel managers or security, and they, baby, they weren't giving you top flight. But when security came in, and security was like, we ain't leaving nowhere, and y'all hoes can't go nowhere until this deal is settled. Oh, girl about to shit her pants. She was crying. And Jennifer, I think that was her name, gave them her credit card. Now, bitch, I would have done that.
No, I would have done that. I would have been looking at her like, you got this in your name. You better find a way. Bitch, I'm not handing one card over. Girl, you saw that they got their whole asses up out of there. They paid somebody, got a little car in the parked in the back of the hotel, baby. Went through the trees, the palm desert trees, or whatever you want to call them. Got in that car and got their asses to the airport and got the hell up out of Morocco and left her card there. And that's exactly how she ended up with $60,000. Oh, not her card, but the company card. I was like, girl, how dumb could you be? How dumb could you be? So then she getting back in the States and Anna ass was still there. She stayed there. Now, if she was any kind of friend, when she noticed they were gone, she should have hightailed her ass up out of there. Had them charge that girl card a little bit, if anything, since she didn't have nobody, and El Dumbo left her damn card there. And got out. But Anna said, fuck this, I'm gonna sit here and live it up, and racked up $60,000. Girl, how do you do that and not feel some kind of way? Just how do you do that? I don't get it.
Girl, fuck what you talking about. Anna said, bitch, all that shit I bought you, these $10,000 bags and head to toe, she done bought Jennifer stuff, paying for private celebrity fitness classes and saunas and spa days. She was like, bitch, I was just investing in you so you could invest in this Morocco vacation, bitch. You gonna invest in this vacation. That's what she said. So she was just pulling out what she deposited, fake deposited, because she didn't pay for that shit either. And that girl was big mad. But you know who I liked on this show the most? Tef. Tef was real cool. Like she got it. I think that helped her probably team Anna feel. Even though Anna was like, bitch, I ain't done nothing wrong. Fuck them hoes. It was them. I didn't ask them. She volunteered her card. I didn't make her do it. I didn't steal this information. She volunteered it. But she worked Tef ass because she knew. So when she had that $100,000 credit, or they gave her $200,000, and I think she pulled out $100,000 instantly. And they gave her that credit off of the word of somebody else. Bitch, you know the problem that I have. The problem that I have is I pay my bills on time, if not in full, all the time. And I couldn't walk in no goddamn way and ask them for no $40,000. And I was looking at me like, girl, bye. Goodbye. Take your ass on.
Exactly. Yet Anna didn't have one account that showed she had anything other than that $200,000 account that they opened at the bank after they were trying to keep her business with her fake 60 millions. I just, I sat there and I watched that movie in just amazement. I'm like, how does this happen? How do you do this? Why would you do this? I don't like looking over my shoulders. I don't like feeling like people out to get me. I don't like being stressed out by bill collectors and shit. So I damn sure don't want to be in a hotel. And at any moment when I leave, bitch, they like, you locked out your room. We holding all your shit until we get our money. Like, girl, if that's what you gonna do, every time you leave, you need to have a suitcase, bitch. You need to have your important documents. You need to have your passport. You need to have your purse. And all that shit I guess you bought, you didn't really want. Cause at the end, when she got like put out or whatever, she didn't have shit. When she came back from Morocco, she didn't have nothing. And she had to stay on old girl's couch, the exercise celebrity fitness guru. She had to stay on her couch. Like, girl, if you gonna fake it, y'all, and I don't promote that, the Savon experience, nor Savon or Shaquansha, we are not promoting deception. We're not promoting fraud. We're not promoting any of those things. But at the end of the day, if you gonna do it, at least make sure you taken care of. You ain't facing deportation, getting evicted. I mean, at the very end of the day, instead of putting all that money trying to buy people, bitch, make sure you taken care of. Ugh. Girl, I don't know.
I know that was a mess. I do know that. But then, bitch, let's not stop there, though. Let's talk about the Tinder swindler. Didn't that remind you of the old tagged days? What was it? Black Voices? Oh, no, it wasn't Black Voices. Was it Black Voices? What was the name of that damn website? Was it Black Voices? Was that a website for dating? Plenty of Fish, girl, all of these. The reason why Tinder Swindler, I think, was so interesting is because it was like the typical horror story of why people don't online date. Because people be lying. People will lie to your ass. And you know if they lie in person while you at the club. They damn sure gonna lie online when you can't see them. You don't know what they doing. You know nothing. So they can bring their representative and you won't know shit at all. How many people have you met that was deceptive?
Every last one of the people I ever met online, all them motherfuckers was deceptive. They were. Didn't nobody, one of them telling the goddamn truth. None of them. Even ones that I may be friends with, still, they ain't telling the truth to this day. They still fucking lying. Folks just lie. And when people get on these sites, and it's so funny because before I even knew about the Tinder swindler, I used to, I'm not going to say make fun because that's mean, but Christian Mingles or singles, no, Christian Mingles, that was one I used to always side eye because they played on the word Christian. So, you know, you would have like all the Christians coming out there looking for their significant God chosen partner, and everybody would be deceptively meeting men and or women off of the basis of them having this Christian based like-mindedness, and it almost put their guard down a little bit. But then when I tiptoed and played around out there on the Christian Mingles site, I don't know why I was out there, girl, because, you know, Christian Mingles, it shouldn't have nothing LGBTQ RSTUV alphanumeric community presence at all out there because it's Christian Mingles. So, my ass was being deceptive too. Yes, single black female, bitch, because you couldn't put in trans. And I'm seeing, I was being nosy. I wanted to see what the experience was like. Who was out there? What were these people doing? So I wanted to see. So I logged on. But we're going to pause for a brief commercial. And we are back. Oh, that was a cute little commercial.
I'm surprised they still running that same commercial of your dead ass voice, girl. You should do a new one. But anyway, continue with your Christian Mingles story.
So yes, I'm on Kristen Mingles, and I'm seeing the same people that was on Jacked, Plenty of Fish, Adam for Adam, Tagged. I think Tagged is still around. I want to call that other one Black Voices. Was it Black Voices or Black Singles? Let me look. I don't know why it would be called Black Voices. Let me see. BlackVoices.com. Oh, no, bitch. It was Black People Meet. That's what it was. It was Black People Meet is what it was. All those sites. And I was just like, it's the same people out here. They just they're cross posting the same, but except on depending on the post, their profile would strategically changed. Some of those people will be on Jacked and Grinder with the most gutter butt of profiles, stating and giving the most gutter butt of presence, but then have the audacity to be on Christian Mingles talking about looking for a God-fearing woman. I guess to pray their asses out of hell.
Exactly. Because them hoes was destined to go to hell. Girl, I remember some of those people you would show to me. And I was like, what the hell, boy? Bitch, you remember the one that I was talking to, bitch? And his ass was on motherfucking Christian Mingles. And you pointed him out because he was also on, it was Adam for Adam at the time because Jack wasn't really around. But he was on Adam for Adam as well as Craigslist, bitch. Remember Craigslist. Now, Craigslist was the place that you was really finding people swindling folks. You had to be careful on Craigslist because Craigslist, bitch, you done came up stinking. You done came up dead somewhere.
Girl, the people. So, speaking of Craigslist, we're going to get back to the Tinder swindling in just a second, but Craigslist was extremely, that detail or that environment was one of the biggest things that one of the series or the episodes on Worst Roommate Ever. Baby, don't find no roommate on Craigslist. Don't buy a car from Craigslist, bitch. Damn sure you had to be skeptical of anything on Craigslist because killers was on Craigslist looking for people to make victims. But Craigslist was real cute in a sense that you could watch people. I used to love to go out there and read the missed connections. And I was standing in a blue shirt at Kroger's on Thursday at 3 p.m. You had a black hat on. You were married, blah, blah, blah. If you see this and you know who I am, respond back. Bitch, I used to chuckle every time I read one of them damn articles. I would chuckle. And I would wonder if the people actually even saw those articles or if people faked. Well, I'm pretty sure people fake like, oh yeah, that was me. And then you meet up with them and it's some disgusting somebody or just somebody totally different altogether. And then you wonder, bitch,
did they still meet up? Did they still do the do? Because I think they did. I think they met up. I think they still did the nasty with each other. And then took that whole experience and filed it into their trauma folder and then moved forward. I think that's what they did. But you know what? Moving back to the Tinder swindler, some of the things that I was seeing happening quickly on the Tinder swindler, I remember some of those same things almost happening with me, and I'm going to be transparent and not racial. It's a difference. I'm being transparent and not racial. But most of the times when I knew someone was working on swindling me, they were mostly, not American or on American soil. I know it happens here, but I'm just speaking from the Shaquantia experience. They weren't on American soil. They were always, you would even have 5 deep discussions or chats before it was some dramatic story. Either it was a story about their son, or if they're a single parent, because the men love using the single parent profile, and that the mother either was no longer around, a deadbeat mom, did, whatever the case may be. And they will always use them being a single parent, and then, them having to take care of their children, things and other. And in this role, I'm the female and they're the male. And I'm like, bitch, you asking me for money? Who? Who, what, when, where, and why? Why are you asking me, bitch? You the man? You supposed to be out there working 15 jobs. What am I supposed to do? I'm not going to help you with nothing. I'm not sending you shit. But when I watch off the Tinder swindler, these people are so open. They have 1 or 2 great experiences with someone, and maybe some others, because there was one lady at the end, baby, she was a goat. She was the goat. But the others, it seemed like it moved really quickly. And it was the whole inventing Anna-like facade. You meet them and they show you that they're living in some form of royalty by picking you up in a Rolls Royce, having a private jet, having a team of people. And you see all this and you're like, oh my God, they're really living the life. No, I know for a fact, bitch, that they got it like that because I was in the Rolls Royce. Every time we meet up, we going to nice restaurants and living life, having lavish meals and shopping at the most bougiest purple label of stores, and we're spending thousands upon thousands of dollars, and it was just dreamy. And people fall in love with the wealth, not the person, because they've not had an opportunity to know the person. They've not had an opportunity to really dig deep. It's either they obsessed with the wealth and the ding-a-ling.
Message. And these profiles, right? Pictures, videos, you could be on a friend's yacht and you can have a timeline full of you on different people's yachts, and you can fake like this yours if they don't really know you. Everybody taking a income tax checks. Because right now it's a whole bunch of pictures out there with people with hundreds and $1,000 bills. Because for those who got a return, baby, they acting like they living a life. And so social media today really can make it look like you're living some sort of dream. It can look like you're really living that life. When people are on, web shows and doing, YouTube shows, you can set your background and your scenery to look any way you want. Because, bitch, I'm the queen of the green screen. Speaking of videos, girl, Spotify now allows you to not Spotify, but Anchor.fm, the host of our podcast. They allow you to actually upload video podcast as well as the audio. So, bitch, should we start back doing videos with our podcast, girl?
No, it was too much of a production. I mean, girl, you took hours to get ready. I had to get cute because I wanted to be sitting next to you looking dusted and busted. Girl, no, this is fine the way it is. We can sit in our night clothes, our robe, our dusters, honey, our flip-flops, and we can have this cute old conversation. If anything, you can upload the recording where our visual is up for our artwork for the live. You could do that. But I'm not getting on camera, girl. That's too much work. I worked all day. Didn't you work all day? Aren't we doing this after work? So when we gonna have time to do all that? This is one of those moments of when you try to do too much.
It was just a thought. Damn, it was just a thought. I mean, the option is there. So I think what I'll do, I'll upload the MP4, this one, and up us in the studio, but it won't have the visuals. And I'll give them the opportunity. And I probably should update our banners and stuff to give the Savon Experience podcast better.
That'll be cute. As long as I ain't on camera, girl, I'm all good. But anyway, so yeah, back to the Tinder swindler. So girl, he done swindled these people. He was taking the same tragic, traumatic story. And I wonder how they got beat up. Like it was probably a real fight or they paid somebody to do this shit. I don't know. So Peter, his guard, and him got beat up. He was line for line taking and using the same script for all these women. And girl, swindled these women out of millions. So one of the things that they didn't catch was the fact that while they're having this lavish meal, while they're out on the town, you know, going shopping and riding in a Rolls Royce and a Bentley and in these luxury super sport cars, when he's paying for these things, no one's paying attention to the card and the name on the card. So they just thought he was paying. But in retrospect, how many people be looking at people's cards? It's like impolite and rude to be looking at people's credit card when they set it down. Like, especially if you're around a bunch of people that you don't know, baby, they could be some folks trying to remember your card number so they can use that shit later. You could be around some Annas.
Bitch, because when I tell you Anna was handing them credit card information that was written on a goddamn scratch pad, I wonder how much of this was being hyped for the movie. Because, girl, where have you gone where they took a number that you have to type in and use it? Most people want to see the card if you're there. This is why I tell people, have your alerts set up on your credit profile and all your credit cards. Have your alerts set up when your card is used and you're not present. Have your alert, honey. Get you some credit monitoring agencies because, baby, if $2 is spent on my shit, I'm going to see it and I'm going to report it and I'm going to dispute it. And if I find out who it is, I'm pressing charges. For $50, I'm pressing charges. So, girl, it ain't worth it. And I don't have nothing for you to take anyway, but it ain't worth it, girl. Don't go to jail for $50. Don't go to jail for $50.
Girl, you remember that one time that girl tried to come to the shop and use somebody else's credit card to get her hair done? And bitch, you looked at her and you looked at that card and you looked at her and you told me to lock the goddamn door. And I locked the door and took the key. Okay. And we was like, girl, you gonna have to pay some other kind of way. Because you just knew her ass was being fraudulent. You just knew it. You remember that girl? Do you?
I do. I remember that. That girl that came up in the shop, girl, she got like $500 worth of hair services, girl. And I was like, okay, that's cute. And I didn't know her. She was a new client. So, you know, you pay a deposit and she paid that. Because when you get in a certain service over a certain amount, you can't even book or make that appointment until the deposit is paid. Period. Period to the periana. To the period. Okay. We're not doing it. So when she pulled out the credit card and it was like somebody else's name and that wasn't her name and they didn't even share the same last name. I just always think about the friends that I've had in life and some of them that I know that have done some really messed up things. And I was like, girl, what if she doing the same thing? I don't want to be part of it. I don't want to have no charges disputed on me later. That's why I stopped taking credit cards, by the way. With all these electronic ways of paying today, we're not taking credit cards here. No, this is not Visa. We're not everywhere you want to be. We're not doing it. You better link them cards up to your PayPal, Cash App, Venmo, Zelle, whatever you got to do, and let them deal with that. Cause I'm not dealing with that. But I had to lock the door, and I had Shaquansha. I was like, "Girl, take that key, put it up, cause bitch, we gotta call the cops. She gonna have to bust out this bitch because she gonna pay me, and we not doing no theft here." So I don't know what she did, but she got somebody to send her secured funds, and she sent me those funds via Venmo because I wasn't doing Cash App for her to dispute that shit later. And once that shit hit my account, baby, bloop, honey, move that shit over, unlinked my shit to the cards because you ain't getting it back. You got to work with the bank on that. I'm not. We're not doing that.
Girl, I had to take something to drink. Sorry about that pop. I know you was gonna be like, bitch, you gonna say something. Yes, but I needed something to drink. Girl, that was an episode. But that's a lesson too. But anyway, back to Tinder Swindler. Girl, these people were just smitten by him, and he wasn't all that cute. And we know another thing that I noticed that a lot of times for you to have a wealth like that, people they don't really care how you look. It is amazing how when somebody has a lot of money, it's always about, I believe in the heart of the person, and it's about the connection. And, he was just a really good guy. He was really sweet, or she was really sweet, or whatever the case may be, and just really cared for me. And it wasn't about the money at all. It was about him and how he treated me. Bitch, I call bullshit.
And me too. Because if he looked like a average Joe, you wouldn't have gave him the time, the day, the reason, the excuse, anything. You wouldn't have done none of that. None of it. Not at all. He wouldn't have gotten past go. You wouldn't even said yes to a meetup. You wouldn't even, once you saw the pic and you was like, oh no, you would have swiped left, baby. And nothing else. That's it. That's it. So for the ugly millionaires out there, their posts and their profiles had to be set up either with one of those millionaire matching agencies, or at least they had a lot of lavish gifts, or they had the word generous in their profile. And I noticed on a lot of the gay dating apps, they have a lot of generous, please be generous or open to generous men. Bitch, that means them hoes want to be paid. Generous equals they want to be paid. Okay? Have the cash, have secured funds available. Okay? Secured funds available. That's what that means when you say generous. They ain't talking about no gas money. They want some dollars. They don't want no change. They want the ones that fold, as T.S. Madison says. They like the kind that fold. They don't want them jinglers, honey. So a lot of the dudes or people who wanted to use their wealth to get what they needed and wanted and or desired, I ain't mad. I'm not mad at all because you know what? Do you? Do you? Get what you need. Because they're just using you for your money anyway. So why not make that transaction work for you? They're not with you for your looks. And 9 times out of 10, they not treat you much like shit, especially when they know you want them for their money. So do you? Spend your coin. Girl, this is a transaction. Now, I'm not condoning anything illegal, but I'm saying as adults with bills, bills, honey, bartering works. Bitch.
Bitch, did you say bartering? Oh my God. We used to do that. Well, we ain't gonna talk about that. You don't know who listening. Let me wet my throat. Mm-mm. So yeah, the Tinder swindle was cute. And at the end, girl, so the one the personal shopper, or she was I think she was like a personal shopper. She had a consignment shop. So what she did for a living was, sell luxury clothing items and things of that nature, baby. But when she realized, and she said, wait a minute, I'm gonna take two, and then I'm gonna take this too. I'm gonna that shit up and I'm gonna take that too. Wait, bitch, this is 6. Bitch, what's going on? And she ran across the Tinder swindler, and she saw her boyfriend pick, bitch. She played that shit so smooth. Oh, now that, I was proud of her. I'm like, bitch, that's how you make moves. She said, I may not get much, because I think he had gotten out of her, I think she said a total of $140,000. Bitch, when I just said that, it just felt weird. She said they've been together not even 2 years. Not even 2 years. And she had already gifted him $140,000. Y'all let that sit in. You all right over there? You okay?
I'm just thinking about what I could do with $140,000. So he got $140,000 return in 18 months. And then he was but this is another moment when same thing I was saying about Anna Delvey, when they were being stupid. Because if they were going to do this, at least do this in a way where the house, is taken care of. Like when she or the story came out and nobody was really messing with him, he ran out of money like instantly. And then he was depending just on her for money. And she was like, bitch, you ain't getting shit out of me. I can't do nothing for you. But she played that role until she got all his clothes. She said, I tell you, if you need some help, you got all those clothes, I can sell them for you and we can make it happen. And because she had given him $140,000, he didn't think twice about it. He was like, oh, my darling, oh, my baby. Yes, I do that. We love you. We make life together. We have kid. You be my wife. I love you long time.
Bitch, it's the accent that you having right now while you say it. Do you have to say it like that? You know what? Hold on. We need to take a brief commercial. One moment. Listen, you guys. We'll be right back after our sponsored message. Okay. And we back. Girl, really? Did you have to make that voice? Like, did you have to make that voice? Is that how they talk? Girl? You so low down. But you're right. You absolutely right. She was smooth operator, baby, because she was like, no, I'm not sending you shit. And he started threatening her, and then, and she was literally like, bitch, if you had it like that, if you had goons like that, if you had reach like that, reach out to one of them motherfuckers' bank account and pull you out some change. She was like, man, fuck that. I ain't going for that bullshit. You ain't got no money. You ain't got nothing. And the second girl that tried to get him, this is the one I think he had gotten like $40,000 out of. And he wasn't dating her. She was just automatically smitten by his wealth and the fact that she spent like a week or so vacation on a yacht, and it's like $5,000 a night rooms and all that. So she was just so excited about that. To where she was like, oh my God, yes, I'll help you. I'm telling y'all now, Savon, I'm telling you now, don't call me with nobody. If they threaten they're going to kill you, girl, you going to be one dead dog, because I'm not sending you no goddamn money.
Girl, you ain't got to say that twice, because I'm not finna send you shit either. So y'all better have a good insurance policy, because I'm not doing it. I told Bae, I said, listen, make sure your parents is on speed dial, because I feel like people can swindle you after being with you for a long time too. I don't trust nobody. I don't trust nobody. I told y'all I was the same chick that don't let you drive my car. You can't, bae. And we've been in a 10-year relationship. It's the only one that's really lived with me. I just lied. What was his name that lived with me? We didn't talk about him. We're gonna have to talk about him. Yeah, I can't remember his name though, but he tried, but he stayed for just a little bit, and then bitch, it was like boom, whatever. He was out because he couldn't act right either. And he ended up leaving me for some chick younger than me, and I was like, okay, bye. Holla. But he still came to me and got his hair cut and all that other stuff. And then I remember when he moved out and I said he moved out and moved in with her. He didn't really move in with her because they were staying at in-town suites. And she was young. And he was like, I need to come get my hair cut. And his car was fucked up. So I don't know how he was getting back and forth because he wasn't driving my car. Ladies, we don't let people have the keys over here. He wasn't driving my car. Okay, I'll drop you off to work. I'll pick you up. If I didn't have a vehicle, just drop me off and pick me up. I'm not asking to keep your car. I'm not asking to drive your car. Even swap is no swindle. We're not doing that. So I was like, I'm not doing that. So when he came and got his haircut after he moved out, y'all, bitch, guess what? He was driving her car. And you know what that fool said to me, Shaquansha? He said, you see, this is why I'm with her. You see, she helped me. I have issues with my car. She let me drive her car. She loved me. You know, you wouldn't let me drive your car. You wouldn't do anything. And I was like, you damn right. Cause look at you. Your dumb ass is over here at your ex's house, getting your hair cut and trying to get into these good done Debbies, which you did, in her car. Bitch, I'm not the fool. I'm not gonna let you drive my car to go see some other hoe. You will take the bus, bitch. You will take the bus. You won't be driving my shit over to see her. I can't keep you from cheating, but I can keep you from cheating in my shit. The fuck you said, girl?
Girl, I remember that shit. What was his name? You had Rashad. Rashad wasn't yours. You had Rhoda. What was his damn name? What was his name? I'm trying to think. Like, girl, what was his name? Oh my God. Girl, help me. Like, what was he? What was his name? Girl, I don't remember his name. It wasn't Rashad. You had Soren, Rashad. Baby, I don't remember that baby's name at all. I just know it was crazy. That I do remember that it was crazy. But what was his name? Well, girl, I'll move on. So we just gotta move on, girl, because I can't remember his name. And as soon, and I say I'm moving on, girl, but yet I'm still trying to figure out. I'm still trying to remember his name. Hold on a second. I still don't remember his name, girl. What I do know, what was his name? Oh my God, what was his name? Girl. I don't know. Anyway, so he was with her, and I was like, I don't care. You can be with her. That's why you're not with me, because you up there doing dumb shit with her. And he thought that was gonna really hurt me. And I'm like, bitch, this don't hurt me. This don't hurt me at all. You proved my point. If anything, you proved my point. So I wasn't mad. I wasn't mad at all, but he was big mad because he was like, "You don't help me. She do this and she do that," and I'm like, "And she El Supo." And then this was so funny. I felt so sorry for this young lady because she didn't know any better. She was young. She was extremely young, and so she listened to everything that he say, and she taking his word, with a grain of salt. Her daddy, to this day, I don't know how, but her daddy knew, like, the number and everything. You remember when he called you, girl? The daddy called you?
I'm about to say, girl, because you fucking up and you telling this story like it's yours. You telling this story like it's yours. I'm like, girl, is this my story or is it her story? Because she was just moving on. You want to tell it? I mean, okay, let me tell it, girl, because you was telling this story like it was yours. Yeah, the daddy called me and he was concerned about his daughter, and I was like, how the fuck did he get my number? That is the weirdest thing. And he was like, I don't trust this guy. And I was like, as you shouldn't. You did right to not trust him. But one thing that I learned is that you got to let them do what they need to do. And I don't know what happened with them. I don't know. Raheem. Bitch, his name was Raheem. How the fuck I forget his name? His name was Raheem. This lets you guys know how important they were to me, because people who are important to you, you tend to not forget their names. I forgot this fucker's name. His name was Raheem. And Raheem was just, I don't know what he had, but he was just, I'm just glad he gone. But anyway, they try to swindle you is the point, is what I'm trying to say. So the Tinder swindler wasn't really all that shocking and or surprising to me, because a lot of people fall for things. And when you have access to wealth or the ability to showcase that you have wealth, even when you don't, because a lot of people spend a lot of money to look rich and to put off this facade of being rich and wealthy, and they really don't have hardly a pot to piss in on their living check to check. That's one thing that people need to realize and remember when you see these people on social media. It's those who are not talking much about it, who are walking in silence, who are doing what they need to do. You see them moving. You don't hear them bragging about it. You don't see them talking about it all the time. They're just moving, doing their thing, standing on their own 2 feet. And they're constantly shaking and moving and changing things up. Those are the ones you watch for. We call those the sleepers, okay? Moving in silence, baby. But the ones that's got to constantly showcase everything they doing, those are the ones that 9 times out of 10, they really don't have it the way you say they have it. And when you're dating these people, you have to take time to really get to know them and not be so captivated with the thought of being in love. Take your time. And if you're not going to take your time, if you want to rush, that's fine too. Rush. Just don't be surprised when you get screwed, literally and figuratively, because it can happen. Don't get mad. So, girl, we're just going to talk about the first episode of Worst Roommate Ever. That show, oh my God. So you guys, if you haven't seen Worst Roommate Ever on Netflix, please make sure you go. This is yet another example of deception, forgery, fraud, scandals, honey. All of that. This lady had done just like the other people we've talked about on tonight's podcast, where she was a career criminal. She had been in jail for a long time. She was an older woman, but she made herself appear even more elderly. So in other words, she was probably like 50 and she made herself look like she was like 70 or 80. And she had a house and she had been scamming people, or scamming the system, I'll say, for years. So she had people that live with her, and then they will come up mysteriously gone, and she would continue to get their Social Security check. So if they didn't have like a caseworker or anything like that, or family that, came and checked up on them, she would kill them, and then she would continue to have their checks coming in. So she did a lot of stuff with the community. She, invested, or I'm not going to say invested, but gave to charity and, different politicians' campaign funds. She contributed to it, gave clothes to like the homeless and the clothes drives. The clothes end up being people who used to live in the house who she's killed. So they're not there anymore. So she would give all that shit away. But people would just bless her. She is so sweet. So she became this iconic person in the community, having burrito day for people, cooking for people, and just really knew how to put up this facade that she was this sweet elderly lady that had nothing but time on her hands and wanted to just give back to the community. It wasn't until you lived in that house before you would see the truth. Girl, she had a friend that she worked with, and this lady owned a restaurant and they were friends. And the lady decided to close her restaurant down because business was just, it had slowed down for so long. So she just closed it down. It wasn't making any money. And she decided to move in with her friend because her friend let people move in and would help her and all this other stuff. So her kids was like, "Are you sure?" And she was like, "Yeah, girl." She ended up killing this lady. This lady was fine and healthy, but she was slowly, drugging her until she died. And then, when she passed away, in this instance, she would tell the family they passed away and come get it, come get her, is what she would say. You might as well say, come get it, come get her. And she would tell the family that she didn't have anything. She left everything to her. And the family was like, what the hell is going on? Well, come to find out she killed her. The other people who didn't have family members, she would kill them and bury them in the backyard. So it wasn't until this one homeless guy who suffered from what was it? Schizophrenia. He had been on the streets, and they had this program going on, I think in the 80s, where they would help people get off the streets, get them room and board, get them on Social Security. And she did. And she had heard nothing but rave reviews about this little old lady in this house. So she went and checked out the house, talked to the lady, talked to one of the people who lived there. It was like, "Oh, we love it here. She's really good to us." I guess this particular person she didn't kill. Obviously, she was in good graces. I don't know why she didn't kill him, but she didn't. But he had been there for a while, and they were talking about how it was just a great place to live. So the caseworker was like, "Okay, great. We'll definitely make sure that, he's here. He doesn't have any family." She was like, "It's fine. I handle the estate for a lot of people. I can sign for their checks. I can deposit, etc." And he was there just for a few months, and then all of a sudden he wasn't. And so the social worker would call and see how, he was doing. And she was like, "Oh, he's back home in Mexico." And she was like, "Wait, he don't even have any family members that knows where he's at. That can't be true." She would not let up. And I'm glad that she didn't, because it eventually led to her arrest and them discovering she had bodies and checking her house out. And this little lady, when they found out everything it was to know about her, they found out this lady was a mess. She had done so much. She had a long history of crime. They found out, bitch, Shawan, you remember when they found out that heifer was like a madam?
Girl, they found out she was a madam. She ran a brothel. She had ladies of the night working for her, baby. So she was their pimp. She would meet different men in her younger days in the bars or whatever. She would drug them. And after she would drug them, knock them out. And she gave them some type of paralysis or paralytic drug that paralyzed them to where they couldn't move, but they could sit there and watch her rob them blind. She was just a motherfucker. I'm sorry. She was a major MF girl. But that was a good watch too. So if y'all haven't seen that, make sure y'all go see that. But the moral of this story in this show is the fact that you gotta be careful, because people are making it a business. It is a huge industry of people out there scamming and defrauding people, and they're mostly doing it via emotional attachments, relationship type, fraud, where they're letting your guard down and they make you feel sorry for them to help them, and a lot of others are just doing it when you're old and you're elderly, and that's why I get so afraid of being old and not having anyone that I can trust around me, because people abuse elderly people, especially those who don't have family, and I hate that. But you gotta think about this shit. You gotta think about it. But girl, I appreciate you for having me. We're at 60 minutes, girl. This was not fast.
It did. So, you guys, thank you so much for watching the Savon Experience podcast, a closer look. This week, we talked about deception. We talked about shows that we watched this week, girl, as well as some few, experience moments where people tried to deceive us. The other deceptions was the dudes that said they didn't have, a wife and or girlfriend and had a whole fucking family. A whole family. Guess who contacted me this week, bitch?
Oh.
Puerto Rican Poppy. Bitch, I told you he watches everything that I do. He watches everything I do. He hit me up. He did. He hit me up, and I was like, you must have heard the episode where I talks about you and your obsession with Keisha. And he said he did. And I left it at that. I'm like, we're not walking down memory lane, honey. I'm still good and taken. But it was good to hear from you. There was another deceptive person. But, we had a good little conversation via text. Because, I don't talk verbally to nobody, honey. Via text on the, Instagram. He hit me up on Instagram, girl. The Savon Experience on Instagram, y'all. That's where he hit me up. And he was telling about, his life today. And there's some things that he's kind of experienced, but we're not gonna share that because that's not my story to tell. And I don't do that. I want to tell my business. But girl, that's this week's episode. You guys, listen, if you enjoyed this show, give it a thumbs up on whatever app that you're on. We're still on Spotify. We are on Apple Podcasts, Stitcher, Radio Public, Google Podcasts, Pandora. And listen, look for our show next week. Okay? I appreciate it. And if you have anything that you want us to talk about, topics, we're not going to do topics, but just different things you want us to kind of bring up through the closer look, let me know, because you can find us at the Savon Experience, honey, at gmail.com. Ooh, good night, y'all. Let me get this good old intro music. Outro music this time. Bye, y'all.